Hey guys, Brian with Cajun Cardboard coming at you from the great state of Louisiana. I got another shipment in from a PSA, and interestingly enough, I've sent now 22 shipments of 50 cards, and this was the 16th order that I sent out. So I'm not sure why this is going to get graded. Well, I just got it in the mail today on January 2nd. So I sent these on November 27th. They actually got the grades on December 29th. So 4 weeks, almost 4 weeks to the day, about 31, 32 days, I got the grades back. And this was the 16th order, all 90s cards, a bunch of Jordans, a bunch of Jordan Ghost cards. And stuff like that. We're about to look at that. We're going to look at all the cards, all the grades, and then stay tuned till the end of the video. We'll look at the approximate value. I went through and I spreadsheeted every card approximately based on the grade they received. Every single one of these cards that I'm not putting into my PC, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of these cards out of 50 cards, only 5 of them are going into my PC. So the other 45 cards will be for sale. I have done some comps, and so we'll look at the value of some of these cards. This is not a humongous order. Well, actually, there's one card that did really, really well. There's a super gem that you guys may or may not have seen if you follow me on Instagram that you will see very shortly in this video. It's a big boy card, a 5-figure card. So stay tuned till the end. You will see that card in this reveal video. But also at the end, I'm going to come back onto here and go big screen, show you the spreadsheet with the grades, the approximate fair market value, and then give you a breakdown percentage-wise. How many PSA 10s, what percentage? How many PSA 9s, what percentage? 8s, etc., all the way down. Did any of them go ungraded? You know, you're always going to get back your trimmed or cut or inauthentic or min size or blah, blah, blah. There's always going to be something. So we'll check all of the stats at the end. So all of you nerds who want to know more and dig a little bit deeper and dive into the numbers and delve into the minutia, as they say, wait until the end of the video. We'll come back after I show the grade reveal, and we'll come back here. Check these out. See what you think about these grades. Let me know in the comments below if you think I did good, if you think I did bad, if I should crack or resub a card. It's always great to get input from the community. That's kind of why I'm sharing these grade results with you. And again, just to reiterate, 45 of these cards are going to be for sale on a future video. First I sell to my buyer list, right? I have a buyer list built up of loyal buyers who buy the stuff in bulk from me. I start locally and then I kind of branch out and work my way out. But those that don't sell to my buyers list on private deals through email or Instagram messages or whatever, text or whatever, I will make it available to all of you guys on the channel. If you want to get on the buyer list, all you got to do is message me on Instagram and say, hey, my name's Freddie Jackson. I buy any and all Ray Allen cards from the 90s. I'll also look at, high-end Kobe Bryant cards or something like that. And you would be surprised. I've got people that are buying Kerry Kittle stuff. So if there's anything out there in particular you're looking for, if you really like Jordan Ghost cards that aren't necessarily Michael Jordan cards, but feature Michael Jordan in the background. Those are the ghost cards that I keep referring to. If you're one of those guys, I'm not that guy. So every one of those that I get graded is for sale. If you're somebody who's looking to collect Michael Jordan ghost cards, and believe it or not, there are people out there that do that, let me know in the comments or message me on Instagram. I'll add you to my buyers list and you'll be the go-to person for any of the ghost cards that come in. All right, check out this grade reveal. I know that's what you guys wanted to see, but come back at the end of the video and you'll see the stats and the numbers, and we'll dive a little bit deeper into it. PWCC is a great way to sell your sports cards. If you're looking for a way to support the Cajun Cardboard YouTube channel, consider using the promo code CAJUN, all caps, CAJUN, when you're selling your cards on the PWCC marketplace. All right, let's get to the nitty gritty, get down and dirty with the PSA grade reveal. We always start with the worst case scenario. And of course, it's the dreaded min size, the N6. Here it is. It's the triple threats. It came back min size. It does look kind of tiny, believe it or not, but it was actually a pretty clean looking copy. A really tough card to find in a PSA 10. The Jordan triple threats came back min size, so no grade for that. And the good news is 1 out of 50 didn't get graded. That's really good in my book. And I will let you guys in on a little secret. This PSA grade reveal, it's 50 cards. There's a lot of Jordans in here. It's 50 cards. This was a really good submission results-wise. Really, really good. Stay tuned until the end. Like I said in the introduction, at the end of the video, you're going to see the stats. I'm going to show you the percentage 10s, percentage 9s, 8s, etc. We're going to look at values of all the cards, and we'll kind of work our way through it. So, and again, I just do want to reiterate that 45 of these cards are for sale. I'm only keeping 5 of them in my collection. So, card number 1, 93 Upper Deck, 171, 9. Only sent it because I thought it was a 10. Had about 40 of those. Only sent the same thing here. Sent it because it looked like a 10, comes back a 9. Sorry, comes back an 8. Let's make our stacks here. Let's go 8s, 9s, 10s. Deal? All right, meaningful card. Did not think this was gonna get hammered like this. Came back a PSA 6. Back centering, not perfect, but damn, y'all. 6? Whew, I don't know what the value of a 9 is, but shit, part of me wants to say, you know what, screw you. I'm going to send this one back. Maybe it's bent up. Maybe that, you know what? I just realized I forgot my glasses. That doesn't sound like me, does it? Oh, look. Here they are. Now I can actually look at the card. Maybe that bottom right corner is bent down there. I'm starting to think maybe there's some creasing issue down there. Yeah, that bottom right corner does not look great, but I don't remember my card looking like that before I sent it off. So we'll put this in the disaster column. PSA 6 is, I consider, a disaster. Ultra, the Ultra Effort, 1996 Ultra number 143, PSA 10. 1996 Ultra number 143, 9. So 110, 19. 10 does pretty well. 9's for sale, 10's for sale. Ooh, I was so close. This is a big card in a PSA 10, and this one looks so good to me. God, the centering is so miserable on this card. Corners and edges were sharp. Everything about this looks so damn good. A little bit of tilting, perhaps, on the back, top left, and bottom left corners. Maybe a little bit of tilting on this card, but for those of you that don't know, this is not the rarest card in the world, but it is a very, very low pop card in PSA 10. And I just like how it's got that silver foil NBA All-Star 10. That means he's made 10 All-Star teams, the retro. This is just a really good looking card, and I always like those Red Hot Chili Pepper All-Star uniforms. Pretty cool card. PSA 9 right here. Good looking addition to a Jordan collection. It will be for sale, I assure you. 1996, actually that one might not be for sale. I think that's the one I need in my collection. I don't think I have a placeholder, or maybe I do, I can't remember. 96 Fleer Stackhouse All Fleer, came back a PSA 8. That is disappointing because it looks much better than an 8. I would never have sent that unless I thought it had a chance at a 10. 50 Point Club, 9. The base, 141, comes back a 10. I always like this card because you got, I think you got Kukoc, no, that's Paxson in the background, you got Ainge, you got Porter, and then you got Cliff Robinson. You know there was another Cliff Robinson before this Cliff Robinson? I knew this wasn't perfect centering, and it still got a 10. I mean, look at this card. The centering left to right is noticeably not perfect, but it came back a 10. And then other cards that I think is perfect comes back a 9. Who knows, man? Who knows? 93 Upper Deck, number 23, the base card, comes back a 9. 1996 NBA Stars, number 124, comes back a 9. 96 NBA Stars, number 74, comes back an 8. This is the golden season. It's a little bit tougher to grade. There's a little tilting, a little curving up there in that top left corner. I can see it just enough. I don't know if y'all can see it. NBA Stars number 24. 3 base cards in that NBA Stars set, and this is comes back a PSA 9. Double Trouble Gold Medallion Parallel came back a PSA 8, which I don't know if I have the 8 in my collection. I need to check on this, but I think I've already got the Double Trouble 8 in my collection, so this would be for sale. And that's a pretty good pickup if you're just, if you're collecting Jordans and PSA 8 doesn't bother you, it's a pretty good pickup. 93 Upper Deck, Jordan Chamberlain, 7 straight. You got Chamberlain on the back, SP3. You got Jordan on the front with the great Scott Williams from North Carolina down there on the bottom left, and this card comes back an 8. Not good. We have got Jordan Ghost card, the first of many Jordan Ghost cards to come. Stay tuned. 1996 Topps number 80, but it's David Robinson, but it prominently features Michael Jordan on the card, almost as prominently as David Robinson, but it has the name David Robinson, so you know it's not the Jordan card. This one comes back at 10, so Ghost card collectors out there, rejoice worldwide. That's 3 PSA 10s if you're counting at home. Remember, stay tuned to the end. We're going to look at the actual numbers. And then here's one I was really thrilled with. This is tough. 93 Ultra Jordan number 30. Came back PSA 10 with Barkley doing his best just to stay out of the way. Scott Williams, again, making his presence felt. The 96 Bowman's Best base. I really thought this had a chance at a 10. There is a dimple, which you guys may or may not. There it is. You see it right below the glare right there. Do y'all see that dimple right below that glare spot? I think that's what kept this thing from being a 10, because otherwise, dear goodness, I mean, this is perfection. That's me spitting on the slab, I think, down there. Really good looking card. I've always liked the back of this card, but that's just the base. Came back PSA 9. This is the Z-Cling, right? And you can tell by the back because it looks like the Z-Force. But if you flip it over, it's a sticker. It was real thin when I submitted it. I wasn't real familiar with it. And then somebody's like, hey, that's the Z-Cling sticker. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever. And so PSA 9, I don't have this. So this is one of the rare 9s that I'll actually keep in my collection. That will not be for sale, but it's going to go on a 9 stack because it's a 9. And then to close out this first stack, 1996 Skybox Premium, the base card, number 16, PSA 9. All right, let's go stack 2. This was odd because there was not very many cards in the cross-country collection that was post 1999, and this is a 2001 Authentics. And it came back a 9. Drake's, number 7, 9. Uh, 98 Upper Deck Choice, the preview, number 23 with preview in the gold foil, 9. The 88 All-Star, number 120, comes back in 8. This is a really good looking 8. The centering on this left to right is really good. The centering top to bottom is not perfect, but it's pretty good. Even the back centering is really good on this one. I was really kind of surprised at this one, to be honest with you. I thought this had a chance at a 9. Bottom edge isn't great. Bottom edge isn't great now that I look at it. No way this one could have got a 9. Sorry, it's an 8. It's over here. I haven't really been paying too much attention. There's a pretty decent chance I've put some 8s in the 9s and vice versa, maybe. Only would have sent it because I thought it had a chance at a 10, and apparently I am blind. This 93 Upper Deck Chicago Bulls card comes back an 8. The World Class, obviously, we knew this was not going to grade exceptionally well, but it is a very rare card released only in Australia and New Zealand in packs. It came back a PSA 6. It's still about I think it's about a $250 card. I'm be quite honest with you, even in a PSA 6 slab. So we'll put that up there in the, here, we'll move this not, this is 7 and below right here. 95 Upper Deck, 9. Always liked this card. That was a good looking card. And then, like I said, I'm still trying to figure out some of the slabs they put this on, and I don't know which ones. Maybe it's the thicker slabs they put those on, I guess. I don't know. But it came back. This is the Upper Deck Hard Court with KG on the front, and it's the red parallel, so you can see a serial number down here out of 2300. And on the back, it's, of course, Michael Jeffrey Jordan. I want to show you all the chipping at the top and on the edges over here. Can y'all see the chipping along the edges? That's the culprit on this card. Just real hard to get it without that chipping on the edges, and it's most notable on the back. Look, you can see it down here at the bottom as well. These cards are wood, by the way. For those of you who've never held one in your hand, they're literally wood. So the chipping is actual splintering of the wood. So the Garnett came back a 9. And this is a great card. This is a great card. The Diamond Vision. Let's see if we can make him move. Can we make him move? There he goes. You can see him kind of moving. Jordan going baseline and dunking. Not really baseline, but just going in for the dunk. Diamond Vision. Card number 4 comes back PSA 9. Also a thick slab card. Another one with the stuff on it, and it's a. This is an interesting card, and I knew it was not going to grade great. But I was not expecting a 6 or a 5 or whatever the hell it got. This is the Upper Deck Hard Court Home Court Advantage Plus. Came back a 5. Not great. Again, did I think it was a 10? No, of course not. The edges are a little bit rough. The top left corner is a little bit funk. Top right corner looks to be a little bit rounded off as well. So by no means was I expecting a 9 on this, but I thought maybe a 7 or an 8. It is serial numbered to only, 500. That ain't a lot for 90s cards, especially not Jordan 90s cards. So Home Court Advantage Plus Parallel comes back, the PSA 5. Might be a card worth looking at cracking and resubbing. 96 Stadium Club Shining Moments, a 9. I only sent it because I thought it had a chance at a 10. And here's one that's already pre-sold. We'll talk about it more towards the end of the video. So this card is not for sale, not for trade. The 98 Upper Deck MJ Living Legends. There's a lot of the Jordan Files cards, but this one is the one that probably matters the most because it's MJ checking Kobe in the posts, right? And came back a 9. 10's a huge card. 10's a really big card. That one's a 9. I should probably put that to the side. Another Jordan Ghost card. By the way, this is, you gotta be kidding me. This is definitely just as much Jordan as it is Reggie Miller. But it looks like Reggie's gonna get this ball cleanly right there. They may call a foul anyway because it's Jordan, but I love 98 Skybox Premium. Even the base cards are absolutely gorgeous. This one came back a 9, so it's for sale to Reggie Miller collectors and Jordan Ghost card collectors worldwide because it is technically a Reggie Miller card, as you guys can see. 9 on that one. I'll put that up there. Here's another card with the juice on it. Take that off because I don't know why it's on there. Maybe it is. Maybe it is the thick slabs that have it. It's another one. So that's the Holding Court Red again, and this one's Iverson. Looks sort of like the KG. And then on the back, you got it serial number to serial number to 2300, of course, just like the KG was. Iverson front, Jordan back. 9 and 9, so pretty cool little pairing of cards right there. These don't really, there you go, they kind of snap together. Big Finish, 10. That's Hoops number 176. Looks like it could be a insert card, but it's not. It's just a subset card. The Big Finish number 176 from 96 Hoops, 10. Ghost card, this is the Gugliotta All Rookie Team, PSA 7. Ugh. 1997 Shannon Anderson Crystal Jordan Ghost card in the background, 7. You can see the little crystal logo up there. So a little more rare parallel. Tiffany would be the rarest. Sort of a big card that snuck in here. Wow, where'd this guy come from? 93 Ultra Scoring Kings came back an 8. I think it's a little bit of paper loss. If you look real closely, you can see a couple of flecks of silver, like where they're not supposed to be. And I think that's a little bit of a paper loss. And then on the back, is where you're always going to have to fight the biggest battle on the back on these Scoring Kings. And if you can tell that top left corner and edge, it's got a little bit of whitening to it. You can see it right there, yeah. So PSA 8 is a very fair grade for this. Very happy with that grade. I think it's about an $850, $900 card. I thought I had a chance at a 10 on this one. The 10 in this is just a really good looking card. The color, the label matches really well, and this is an overlooked Jordan insert that you'll see in the Cajun Cardboard hierarchy, Michael Jordan hierarchy. I just really like this year of Hardwood Leaders. If I'm not mistaken, there's 3 years of Hardwood Leaders. This is far and away my favorite. Far and away, not even close my favorite. 9 on that one. Ultra Step It Up, 7. Bummer. Crushed on that one. Step It Up, 7. Damn. Smashed on both of those. How about this? The 97 Fleer number 23 came back. It's just a base card, but it's a good looking card. And of course, you got Greg Anthony, Starks, Oakley, and Pat Ewing in the background with Jordan finishing and ignoring all of them. PSA 10 for that one. 10 stacks looking pretty good. And then surprise, surprise, this is the big boy, right? This is the one that I'm going to talk about for days and years to come. And it's just, I don't even have words, man. I think there's only 7 or 8 atomic refractors. I should know this because I put the hierarchy together, and every one of them appears in the Jordan hierarchy. The pack odds are astronomical. It's just a rare card. It's a huge card. I expect to be upcharged out the ass on this card, but it's the 96 Bowman's Best, number 80. The Atomic Refractor 10, not for sale, not for trade. This one goes safely into my PWCC Vault for Cajun Eternity. Love, love, love this card. And again, and I'm sure I'll talk about it more at some point. I even just did a video on it because it posed an interesting hypothetical. This card was a BGS 8 that I bought for $925 cash at the National in Chicago. It looked better than that, and I had faith in it, so I cracked it, submitted it to PSA, popped, I think 16 or 18, I can't remember, and came back to PSA 10. So went from about a $925 card to about a $16,000 card. Again, not for sale. This is obviously the the focal point, the pinnacle, the climax of this submission video. I probably should have saved it for last, but I didn't. Sorry, I don't have a flair for the dramatic, apparently. Same Gugliotta, all rookie team. This one came back a 9. Ghost card. I don't know who this is, David Hansen. I have no clue who he is, but this is one of those upper deck major attractions where they had like a Charlie Sheen, a Queen Latifah, who everybody knows who those guys are. I don't know who David Hansen is. I have no idea who David Hansen is, but he likes Michael Jordan apparently. But card number 337 came back a 9. There's the Charlie Sheen, and of course Charlie Sheen comes back a 10. There's the handsome Charlie Sheen on the back from Major League. A bunch of other famous movies. 10 on that one. Not a huge card, but it's always nice to get 10s. Love this base card. 9 on this one. 1993 Ultra. I think you saw a 10 earlier. This is a 9. Not too bad. Probably a $30 card. Ultra Effort, another 10. So 2 copies of this. I think I went 10-10-9 on this 1996 Ultra number 143. Again, could it be an insert? Could it be the Ultra Effort insert? Sure, it could have been if they had chosen to, but it's a subset card, number 143. So it is part of the base set. But 2 10s, both of those will be for sale because I already have one. And then last card is 95 Upper Deck. Came back a 7, the Slam and Jams. Another insert, sorry, a subset card that looks like it could be an insert. With Nick Anderson and Kukoc in the background, and Jordan extending with his bionic arms and his absurdly shredded shoulders and delts. Comes back a 7. Yuck. I don't know what's wrong with that. I must have missed something on that, y'all. Anyway, that's it, guys. So keep watching. Stay tuned. I'm going to go through some of the numbers. We'll talk about the stats, and we'll talk about the values. Thanks, guys. All right, so now you've seen the cards. 50 cards. As I said, took about 4 weeks to get back. I'm going to switch you over to a spreadsheet here. We're going to look at each of the cards, the grade, the approximate fair market value. I went real quick through Card Ladder to put these approximate fair market values together, and then we're going to look at the percentage of PSA 10s, 9s, 8s, and 7s. And you guys may have done some quick math and figured that out from watching the video, but you didn't need to because I did all of that work for you. So let me switch you over. Here's the spreadsheet. Let's start with up here in the top right, as you guys can see, non-PSA 10s. I tell you what, I was really freaking excited about that. That's an 18% gem rate, man. Out of 50 cards, for 9 of the cards from the 90s, 80s, and 90s to come back PSA 10, that's damn good. Now, do I wish it was on a bigger order with, you know, one of those big Jordan orders that I sent with some really meaningful Jordan inserts in the 90s? Of course I do, but we know that those are being pop controlled, so I wasn't going to pull a bunch of 10s on meaningful, you know, 3, 4, 5-figure Jordan cards. But I did hit the big dog, right? I did hit the big dog Atomic Refractor PSA 10, and that was a big deal. I do want to reiterate, that Atomic Refractor was not from the Cross Country Collection. I want to be really clear about that. I do have one from the Cross Country Collection. It's in my crack and resub stack because it did not grade well. This one is the one that I bought at the National. It was a BGS 8, and then I cracked it, and you know, I did a whole separate video on that. So you guys may have seen that card before. 24 PSA 9s. Now you're talking about 33 out of the 50 cards. That's a combined 66%. It's almost 2/3 of the cards coming back PSA 9 or better. That is really rare, really unique, and I am super thrilled about the results of this particular PSA grade video. 8 of the cards out of the 50 came back PSA 8. 8 of them came back PSA 7 or below, and then only 1 of them was not graded. Looking at the value, again, most of these cards are teeny tiny. You know, it's $19 to submit a card, right? In bulk value, $19.80 to present, and so I'm paying around $19 a card. Actually, I think I might have got these in at $15 a card during that little discount window that they offered, like that holiday special or whatever. So I think I was at $15 a card, which is actually really good. But, you know, keep in mind, anytime you see something in this right-hand column that's, you know, 20, I usually have $3 for shipping and insurance, and so if it's $15 a card, it's really like 18 or 20 or something like that. So all of the cards are going to be for sale. Don't hold me to it. I'm not telling you that this card is going to be for sale for $10. I'm going to go through, I'll recheck the comps, and then I'll make the cards available, and I'll do it the same way I did the last sale video, which was uproariously successful, and I sold the cards extremely quickly, and some bigger cards as well, believe it or not. But this is kind of what you're looking at. As far as the 10s go, the 93 Ultra number 30, that PSA 10's only about $110 card. So it's exciting to get a PSA 10. I already own that card in a PSA 10 slab. So that's why the green cards you'll see are going to be for sale. And here's my little chart right here, right? If it's yellow, that means I'm adding it to the PC. I don't have it and I need it, or maybe it is a duplicate and I'm just going to keep it. Green is gonna be for sale at some point, and you'll see it on this channel. Hit the subscribe button and feel free to message me on Instagram if you want to get on the private buyers list. That's fine. That's great. I can't promise you you're going to, I'm going to get to you. The cards may sell. I've got a local buyer here. Sometimes I get an order of 50 and he comes through, he buys all 50. And if that's the case and it's a cash transaction and it's lump sum, even at 85%, I'm going to get the deal to the local guy. And then the red just means either it wasn't graded or I'm going to crack and resub it. Moving along, the 1995 Upper Deck number 339, that goes into the PC. It's only a $75 card, even as a PSA 10. A big card, the 93 Scoring Kings came back a PSA 8. A little disappointed there. A 9 would have been a lot more money, a lot more valuable, but it comes back a PSA 8. That's $850 in a new PSA slab. Approximately, look, it could be a $750, it could be a $1,050. It's somewhere around $850, and so that's not necessarily going to be my sale price. Sale price may be lower, right? Guys, if you've watched my prior slabs for sale videos, I'm under comps every time. So if let's just look at the comps, and the last 4 sold for an average of $850, I'm probably going to sell it for about $800, maybe $775, depending on how anxious I am to move the card. Moving along, 2 more 10s. The Ultra 143 comes in at $115. The Fleer 282, I didn't own a copy of that card. It's a PSA 9. I'll keep it in my collection for $30. I don't have the card. Now I've got a 9 placeholder, and I'll keep looking for a higher graded copy. The Z-Cling, I didn't have that. I wasn't even familiar with that little sticker with nothing on the back. It looked like a regular old Jordan Z-Force card, but it's the Z-Force Z-Cling. Those are tough to find in PSA 10, so I'll keep the PSA 9 as a placeholder. The hoops, 176 Michael Jordan PSA 10 is $150. I've already got, I think, 2 copies of that in PSA 10, so that one will be made for sale. I like that card a lot, the 176. Big Finish, I think that's the Big Finish, right, if I'm not mistaken. And then the Topps World Class, I knew when I sent this, and I'm sure I talked about it in the video, I knew this was not going to grade well, but this is one of those cards. Only 45 have ever been graded by PSA. These cards were specifically distributed only in packs in Australia and New Zealand, so very weird. But the Jordan came back a PSA 6. Even in a PSA 6 slab, it's about $100, $150 card. It's a Pop 2 PSA 6, but there's only 45 that have ever been graded by PSA. So it's a pretty rare card. Centering is always the culprit on that card. What else is there? Nothing really to write home about. A 97 Fleer PSA 10 is only about a $95 card. The Bowman's Best base, I was really hoping to get a 10 there. And then, of course, here, the big one that I'm adding to my collection, not for sale, not for trade. It's only a Pop 16, and this is probably the best grade result I've ever received on any Jordan card from the 90s as far as a big card that actually grades well. This 96 Bowman's Best PSA 10 came back at $16,000. So if you're keeping track at home in the this is not the cross country collection. This is the BGS 8 that I bought at the National, and I cracked and resubbed it. But if you're keeping track at home, I did get a Championship Hardware come back PSA 10. I did get a Take It to .net come back, not Championship Hardware, Championship Galaxy come back PSA 10. I had a Take It to .net come back PSA 10. And then this card is probably the biggest, even bigger than those 2 cards. This 96 Bowman's Best Atomic Refractor number 80 came back a PSA 10. It's about a $16,000 card. It sold for, I think, $24,000 in 2023. It has since come back a couple times and sold, maybe 18 and 15. I can't remember, something like that. Of course, the Triple Threats did not get graded, and so that one I will probably probably try again. It's dumb and as silly and as beat your head against the wall as that sounds. I'm probably going to try that one again. And then the 97 Diamond Vision Jordan came back a PSA 9. Those cards are so cool. And PSA 9 is a win, right? I think a PSA 9 is a win for that card. I don't own it. That one goes into the collection until I can find a 9.5 or a 10 at some time down the road. The 92 Topps 141, that base Jordan card, PSA 10. I've got at least one copy of that in the PSA 10. That one will be for sale. The 98 Hard Court Michael Jordan number 23. That's a pop 3. Those are serial number 2. That's the weird one. That's the Home Court Advantage Plus that I showed you, and I should have showed you the serial numbering on the back. It's serial number to 500. It graded a PSA 5, which is atrocious. There's only been 37 graded, and it's a pop 3. That one is about a $240 card. That'll be for sale for those of you who are looking for those serial numbered Jordan cards. It is Jordan. It is playing year. It is 1998, so pretty cool there. Missed on the Double Trouble. Missed on the Shining Moments. The NBA Stars. There's 3 of those. I think there's 3 of those in the base set. 24, 74, and 124. Ironically enough, they go up by 50 increments. I always thought that was odd. 24, 74, 124. 24 plus 50 is 74, 74 plus 50 is 124. It's weird. I don't understand it. But 989 on those. Little babies there. I was hoping for 10s, right? Those are the cards that you send hoping for a 10. And I played the hope for 10s game, and it actually worked out to the tune of, like we said, 9 PSA 10s out of 50 cards is pretty damn good. Really, out of 49 cards, is one of them didn't get graded. But the Jordan All-Star from 88 Fleer came back a PSA 8. That's not a surprise there. The 88 Fleer came back a PSA 6. I got murdered on that one. That's a little disappointing. So that's only $60 for that 87 Fleer. 88 Fleer. 88 Fleer, 88 Fleer, the All-Star, and then the base came back a 6 and an 8. So about 185 combined value there. What else is big? The Jordan Topps number 80 with David Robinson, that Ghost came back a 10. That's only a pop 14 Jordan Ghost card, and it's a $195 value. The Holding Court, the Upper Deck Holding Court cards, those are, I think, serial number to 2300. I can't remember from the video, but $75 for each of those in a PSA 9. That seems low to me. 2300 is not a small serial number, but it is Jordan and Iverson and it is Jordan and Garnett, and so $75 seems cheap to me. I don't know. I might hang on to those. I think one day those will be worth a little bit more. Maybe a set collector comes through and tries to collect all of those at some point. I'm not really sure. The Drakes, I thought that had a chance at a 10. At a 10, that card would have had some pretty serious value, but even at a PSA 9, the 1992 Fleer Drakes number 7 is a $65 card. It's a pop 53 with only 10 PSA 10s out there. And then the Kobe card, right? This is the Jordan Kobe 98 Upper Deck MJ Living Legend. I have already got this card pre-sold to the great Scott McCarthy. So shout out to Scott McCarthy. I gave you my word. You were going to get first dibs on this card. I'm going to sell it to you for 150% of comps. No, I'm just kidding, Scott. I'm kidding. I'll take care of you on this card. This card is pledged to the great Scott McCarthy, who's an OG. He's been a follower, a subscriber, and a big fan, and a big part of the back and forth and the engagement on the channel from day one, it seems like. And so, Scott, I got you covered. Your 98 Upper Deck MJ Living Legend Kobe Jordan card came in, and it's a fresh, clean PSA 9 slab. It's about $250, Scott. We'll talk numbers and get there. So there's your total right there. Obviously, it made sense. It cost me about $1,000 to grade this. I assume, and I haven't looked yet, but I assume I got upcharged on the monster, right? The Atomic Refractor that came back a PSA 10. But listen, I went from a BGS 8 that I bought for about $800 to a PSA 10 worth $16,000. That's the lunacy of grading. That's the absurdity of grading, that on any given day, somebody at Beckett could think it's an 8, somebody at PSA could think it's a 10. Usually it's the other way around. Usually somebody at PSA thinks it's a 7, and then you send it to Beckett and it comes back a 9.5, and you quadrupled your money. Well, in this case, I 20x'd my money just because on any given day, one person thought it was worth a certain amount. So anyway, that's it, guys. Just wanted to kind of go through that with you. Again, I think that's pretty good, man, to get 67%, 66% of the cards come back PSA 9 or better on cards from the 90s. Man, that is a huge win, and I'm going to pat myself on the back for once. I looked at the cards and I deemed the cards were in really good condition. And look, some of these cards, I knew they weren't PSA 10s. I knew that those hardcourt reds were not going to come back, PSA 9 or 10. I knew the world class was terrible. I knew the 88 Fleer base, the 88 Fleer All-Star were not going to come back 9s and 10s. And so my eye was actually pretty good on these cards. So pat on the back for me. For once, I actually did pretty good with PSA. And of course, the big Grand Slam home runs, the Atomic Refractor. That's the one that I'll remember from this submission. So thank you guys as always for watching. Subscribe to the channel. It's a call to action. Do me a favor. If you like these, if you like grade reveals, if you like me digging through boxes, and I'm going to be sending out many, many, many more cards from this cross-country collection. I've still got probably 70 more boxes left at the house that I have to go through, which means about 20 or 25 more videos just digging for gold. If you like those types of videos, if you like buying raw collections, grading them, curating them, synthesizing them, selling them, you'll like this channel. And if you just like the NBA in general, you're going to hear me talk a little bit more about what's going on in the NBA as we approach the All-Star break in the new year 2024. Kind of when things start to heat up and we start talking about All-Stars and MVPs and then trade deadlines and things like that. So all things NBA, this is a great place for you. Basketball cards specifically, great place for you. And if you like PWCC Premier and Golden Elite auction recaps, this is the place for you as well. In addition to PWCC weekly recaps every Monday. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button on this video because that does help me. Feel free to message me on Instagram if you want to get on the buyer's list for new cards that do come back from PSA. I am always looking to sell these things off platform. I love my guys at PWCC. I love the PWCC weekly auction, but if I can sell the cards myself for cash on private deals in bulk, I'm always going to do that because that's easier. That's always the place I'm going to start. And then my fallback is sort of the PWCC weekly, where I don't want to mess with eBay. I don't want to mess with all that stuff. I'm just going to put them in a box, send them to PWCC, and let those guys do all the work. Again, if you like the channel and you want to support it, go read the YouTube description. There's 4 ways you can support the channel: buying, selling on PWCC, buying apparel, t-shirts, cool shit like that on homage.com, and then just hitting the donation link. If you want to donate to the channel and you think that I bring some entertainment and some education and it kind of brightens your 2024 with basketball card knowledge and basketball card entertainment, hit the PayPal donation link and send whatever you think I'm worth. It's that simple. Of course, it's all voluntary, and I'll love you whether you click the link or not, but I just wanted to let you guys know that it is out there, and I don't charge a subscription fee. I don't do the Patreon, and I don't take the YouTube money because not enough people watch my stuff to make YouTube money worth a damn. Thank you guys for watching. Keep collecting. Stay positive in the hobby. And peace.